Mohab. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for coming today to our studio and be part of the studio live with me. And we have a very special guest today.
So what's the topic today? What's the question?
The question is custom software development project versus product approach. I think it is for technical people because we don't know really the difference. Maybe in business it makes a difference, but for us coding, testing, I don't think it makes any difference, but we will learn more. So the case study is about the platform, the digital platform that SORINT developed from scratch throughout the last 5 years. It's a platform for elite, and it facilitates the flow of more than 13 billion euro of investment. I'm not going to talk much about the technical aspect of the platform because there is the case study. We will make sure it's available in a link, in a clickable link that you can go into the technical aspects. But we want to talk more into the business of how we developed the platform. Can we invite our guest, please, Giordano Sassaroli, Head of Elite Product Development and Management.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, Giordano.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting. It's a pleasure.
I would like to thank you so much for accepting our invitation today and having you here, especially for the knowledge sharing. This isn't about like highlighting our capabilities or what we did together, and your success as a CTO, representing a CTO position of choosing your supplier and implementing a great platform, but for the sharing of knowledge. I think in this industry, Luca, it's very important that technical people talk, business and technical people talk, and I'll jump into the business value of the platform, Giordano. To summarize it, what if elite platform doesn't exist? What if it doesn't exist? Yes, really. I think your answer will highlight really the business value of having such a platform in place.
Well, that's a hard question. Thinking about to turn off the platform. Well, Elite is a business that is based on interactions with our community, organization of many events. And when I say many, I mean more than 100 every year. It is designed to engage with medium-sized companies, so with the entrepreneurs, with the directors of these companies, and we invite them to these events. And we continuously onboard new clients, new companies, about 150 every year. And because of the size of the team is relatively small. It's about 30 people to serve a community of 2,000 companies. And it means that we leverage the digital platform as a strategic tool to scale. Without that, to answer your question, if we turn it off, we should go back to the historical when we did that manually. So inviting people, confirming their presence, receiving documents from all these companies, processing all the data about these companies, introducing them to let them interact and speak. There is a lot that the platform does, and turning it off would be an increase of cost for sure, and increase of headaches for a lot of people.
And mistakes, because this is it's a financial industry. Talking with money, I think it's a very sensitive industry, isn't it? You need high organization, you need high structure. Am I correct?
Yes. We have a lot of processes described and well defined to interact with these companies. And when there is a critical, you mentioned the money raised by these companies, thanks to Elite, 13 billion. When it comes to interact well with investors, with advisors, this requires also access securely spaces, and this must be controlled by processes and and the platform today many processes and helps us under control.
Fair. So I think this clearly, no doubt that you need a platform to organize all of this events, structure of fund rising, connecting investors and people looking for funds. Why custom software development? Why we couldn't find off-the-shelf product or a software as a service?
Well, that's a question that I ask myself.
Take your time in answering it. Like, why from the beginning did we go?
I keep asking myself that question. It's not one-time answer. And it is good also to periodically ask myself why I keep investing, and Elite keeps investing in a custom software development instead of replacing it with a solution from the market, with an off-the-shelf solution.
What do you tell yourself?
And if we look at the features, at the kind of interactions, because in the end the portal is a community portal with profiles, with messages, with events management features, and with onboarding, with a lot of forms. Individually taken, these features are available in many off-the-shelf solutions, in many white label platforms. But if you take them as a system, if you look at them for the kind of interactions that they need to activate, the specific profile of our users, who are CEOs, CFOs, C-levels, all these peculiarities require a custom solution, a custom system. And we developed this platform as a custom software since the day one in 2012. Clearly, the software evolved, it's been replaced a number of times, but we had a custom software since day one. At the beginning, it was a big bang project, the good old waterfall projects, with a lot of requirements, with a lot of specifications and design and blah, blah, blah. And then we had also additional projects during the different years. And then, of course, we developed the maturity also of approaching this project in an agile way, even so at the beginning there were not real agile projects, because we still wrote a lot of requirements at the beginning, and the sprints were just an excuse to manage the time of developers, but not really iterating on the product. And the project was finished when all the requirements were finished. There were not actually evolution.
This is not a sort of a project where we know exactly what we need as a requirement, and this is the project, and there is this last day of we are just maintaining. This is not. So I'll take this next question to Luca. Luca, product development versus project development.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Please, not.
You mentioned many times this is not a project where you can you have all the deliverables clear at the beginning, but this is not a project at all. So this is the idea, because this is the creation of a new product. It's the difference between knowing what's the
end line.
Yes, at the end, what do you want, or something that you need to create in as mentioned by Giordano, with the iterations, and also following the value given to the customer. New customer, huge number of new customers every year. So new needs, could be a new sector of the markets, new way of approaching.
New type of events, new type of interaction.
Also countries could be. So you need to add value in an incremental way, and you don't know for sure deliverable at the end. So you have some common feature, like a collaboration feature that you mentioned, but this is the where Agile comes in help when you develop a new product, because Agile methodologies are for product development, not project management. So it's very different, the approach.
Product.
Yeah.
it will keep going. There is no end line. It depends, because it's one of the core business of Elite of Giordano. Tomorrow morning, he wants to add a new feature because it expands a business opportunity for them or for the investor. We are able to respond to this. As a developer, as a technical person, as a, I don't know, a product manager or a scrum master, let them aside. As a developer, as a tester, as a DevOps engineer, do I feel a difference? Like, is there any difference in my daily work working with?
Absolutely, because I know that Giordano used the word, the definition of fake agile. So when you make all the analysis, you are trying to use the word of sprints, but in a different way. But for everyone, well, we have a lot of challenges, and Elite has a lot of challenges every year with new customers and everything. So you need to approach them different. It's a challenge that needs to find solution by a team built on developers, UX, UI, but not all the technical guys, not only the technical guys, but also the business guys, the business analyst, who is the business, the expert in the field. So this is the idea of acting as a team with all the roles, technical and not technical, and try to find a way to approach the challenge. So the product is also the organization model is completely different.
And this includes the business side of contracting and governance and all those aspects more than you. From my reading, Giordano, I've read that in one of the biggest difference in product approach is it requires paramount, they use that word, paramount amount of project governance. How are you governing between Giordano, Elite, and SORINT? What is different in here? I would like to hear from Giordano. Custom software development comes with many risks, as we know. What was, from your perspective as a client, what risks were you looking to mitigate or looking to not have in place?
Yeah, you're right. There are many risks, and approaching that as a product and not as individual projects, together with SORINT as a supplier, mitigates many of them. Three that comes to my mind are, well, first, customer value risk. What it means? It means that the risk of investing money, resources, time in developing features that we believe that are good, but actually do not bring value to the customer, because we have the ability to customize in off the shelf in a white label software. You take what is available off the shelf. And you don't have much space of customization, or it is controlled. While in the custom software development, you have a blank page to create, and you tend to over-customize something, so overspending. So approaching that as a product, working with the supplier to validate the ideas and the requirements with the end users, this mitigates this risk. The second risk is connected to this, which is cost. Typically, development cost, maintenance cost tend to be higher with custom software, and there is a tendency to have always something to do. You have a team allocated, and you always feed the backlog to add new things. And you feel that at some point, if you stop investing and you stop investing in this backlog, it will collapse. This is true. Approaching that as a product can help in this, and looking at that not as a project but as a team working on a continuously evolving product helps. And the last risk is overcomplication, because having a custom software allows you to really verticalize what you are creating for your own scenario. And you can create things that get complicated and complicated and complicated. Here, why approaching that as a product mitigates these risks? Because you at some point you must prioritize, as you must have the courage to cut some of the features that don't work, and to introduce the new features that will help you make the next step. So this will help you keeping the solution simple. Yeah, this is what I see.
This was your word when you took the approach of custom software development. You wanted to mitigate, you wanted to face these challenges where the provider was able to respond.
Yes.
For example, when we introduce a new feature, it's not about the feature that Giordano or the client wants to implement. No, we would take this brief and our software factory or our development team will investigate, do a full research study before implementing or designing or architecting this new feature.
Yeah.
Which will take us again to the readiness or preparedness of the one team manifesto.
Yeah.
Reusable.
Again, yeah, there is no and then because this is really one team. So the field expert, the domain expert are the guys from with Giordano. So they are able to create, to ask to the well, also why then it comes the importance of the sprints, because you have to release very fast and to understand the feedback of the customer as soon as the release was released again.
Mhm.
So, and this is the first. So, without reworking on the feature that is not valuable by the customer, so you need only to focus to the feature that are fitting to the customer.
Because we studied them, we know they are they will pay off or they are of value, ready to be implemented. This aspect helps the client side reduce the risk of the cost.
Yes, obviously, because it's
Tangible.
Yeah, tangible. So, and I agree totally, because the cost optimization, the over complexity is the main issue of the custom software development. But in this world, you have to be also unique, to find the uniqueness, because everything is that the market are very bland, very competitive. So you need to find a way to be unique to the customer. So you need to find the feature or prioritize the feature in the way that you are giving value. And the cost is very important. So you have to find a way only to deliver what's expected from the customer. And again, another key word here is the flexibility, because there were moments where you are trying to invest in a certain feature, a group of features, because the market's very evolving. Then you have to spend time in refactor something else. You have to spend time to analyze the output of the customer. So also the technical team is flexible. I mean, in terms of number of the capability, number of resources, but also in the capabilities of the resources. So
takes us to the point. Yeah, takes us, I think, to the point of project governance. You need a strong project governance and a huge collaboration between client side and provider side. Giordano, I'm gonna have to make it a bit on fire here. You've worked with another supplier before passing the project to SORINT Lab 5 years ago. Please, if it's not too much, can you tell us a little bit about this experience or the difference between this experience?
Yes. Well, we learned a lot, and it is part of the evolution of elite, growing up, getting older, and learning also from some mistakes. Well, actually, SORINT Lab was contacted and onboarding in a very peculiar period, because we originally developed this specific portal with an external startup, a fintech, where we invested, by the way. So we were both client and shareholder. Our intention originally was really to invest in this startup and get the benefits of their startup nature, of their innovative nature, and they take the best from them, with a strong alignment with them. But it didn't work, to be honest. It didn't work for a number of reasons. First, because we had both roles, as a shareholder and as a client. And they, as a startup, they were running out of cash. So back in approach where we were the client, they were the supplier, and we worked as a project. In the end, we were creating projects to keep them alive rather than to evolve the platform. And we reached a point where this was no more sustainable. That's were really a pivotal moment, because with a motivation to replace this startup with a new supplier, we designed this new model with SORINT Lab. So we designed this approach of looking at that as a product first, to create the joint team and to approach all the subsequent developments of this product in this new model. And well, to be honest, you saved our lives because the transition was absolutely smooth. That's a positive feedback I can give. On the other side, you helped us approach all the next evolutions that we had. 1 year after, Elite moved from the London Stock Exchange to Euronext, and in 2021, so 1 year after the transition from the old supplier to SORINT. And this evolution, that it was dramatic, for dramatic in terms of impact for Elite from a business perspective, was handled perfectly on the digital product side, right? Because we already created all the mechanisms of collaboration on that, and that was then the basement on top of which we built the foundation, on top of which we built all the evolution of Elite in our European expansion.
Sorry, to understand more, a new acquisition or a new management from the client side, this means new rules, new procurement procedures or regulations, new priorities, new platform priorities. Therefore, the backlog will change. There is a lot of there is a challenge here that needs to be handled. Did anyone feel anything like SORINT? Did we feel this change?
No. There is a reason.
The reason is things are set in place already. Things are clearly, things are contracted in a correct, clear way.
Let me say that it's not a matter of formal contracts, because procurement teaches us that contracts can be cancelled. It's a matter of relationships. So because the relationship was effective, because there was continuity in the activities, it was not just sorry, they turned off the light. It was because of this, because of the effectiveness of the relationship. There was no discussion on our side.
No.
So
this is a know-how. No, this is a know-how. Of course, you
also the model was the product approach. So the product Elite inside the context of the London Stock Exchange before and then Euronext and so on, but the product still remained
the same. It doesn't.
Yeah. So and also we try to elaborate sort of agile contract that is another key here, because it's a sort, we call it some way an agile fixed price contract, because it gives the customer the opportunity to access to a huge amount of resources with different capabilities, but in a fixed way, so in a fixed price way to mitigate the cost again. So the flexibility also is very important, and the contract was very based on the relationship again, because based on the idea that we are collaborating in one team. So written in the contract, so it's very easy to understand.
Easy and clear, and
we spend more time to describe the contract. This is great.
Gives Elite an opportunity to access resources in the right manner, in the correct manner, which they agree on and which we agree on. 66% of technology-related projects fail, according to Standish Group, and 66 partially fail or fully fail IT. So I don't think I'll be exaggerating to say that this episode is kind of a celebration to a success, not only for SORINT, but also for Elite. 98%, we have a customer retention rate. Any success for our client is a success for us. And for a CTO to choose the right partner and to have the same language for his needs, I think, Giordano, you too, you should be celebrating today what you did before. Giordano, would you like to share any experience with us?
Well, The experience. Let me say the last bit of words that I mentioned in my previous answer was about the ability for us to use the digital platform also for entering new markets. I'm connected from Amsterdam now. We have started from Italy and we launched in the last couple of years in Portugal, in France, in the Netherlands, and the platform is the same. We are building a European community thanks to the things that we have created together. So it is one more good output of our collaboration.
30 people, one digital platform. Imagine if there wasn't this digital platform. Giordano, I cannot take more of your time. I know you're a very busy person. I would like to thank you so much for coming. And please, for our viewers, if you want to read this case study, check it on sorint.com/case-study/elite. Thank you, Giordano, so much. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you, Mohab. Bye. See you.
Bye.